back. Sorry, we've been crashing like crazy today. But right now I'm getting our video back to the 36-minute mark where we left off. And we're going to... most of what was going on with the TC boom, we've already gone through. You've seen me build my starting my military forces. You've seen all the important stuff regarding the transition. I would say, I think if Harrow were to watch this, he'd tell me that I did it about 95% perfect. I need to get more efficient. I need to speed it up. He might have some tips and tricks based off of the new patch because I'm running his pre-patch build order in a new era of Definitive Edition. But I would say I was 95% there. That 5% of improvement, though, could potentially save me 4 to 5 minutes. And that gives me a big advantage over the enemy. Any thoughts, Zeno?
No. Right now we're just kind of catching back up because we're at 15 minutes on the clock. So we got to get to 35, 40 before it crashed, and then we'll see what's going on.
Woo!
I'm still killing chickens.
What's going on globally? This is what I call God view. AKA my view. Let's see what's going on with the Loudon over here. Using the castle, it looks like. At 18 minutes. Just building his third town center while I'm finishing my third town center.
You know, it doesn't look like he has a lot to be able to make 3 town centers.
He's got way too many people on stone right now. That's very inefficient, and I think that's probably part of why I was able to beat him, having a subpar boom. Now he's starting to better allocate his villagers. Now he's moved them to wood. His castle's almost done here. In my opinion, he did his castle too early, and he could have used those villagers better. If you're going to be doing a TC boom, that's I think a poor allocation of human and physical resources.
I don't know. I mean, he has a lot of... It's kind of weird because he does have a lot of farms. So he's ready to boom villager-wise. His elite unit is the Ratha, which I think is wood and gold.
Mm-hmm.
So he does need the wood for sure. He really dropped the ball maybe on the wood part. And then he's just mining gold now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm a little... Yeah, see, here comes the Rathas now. I'm a little confused why he built... why he did all that and didn't have more people on wood, because his elite unit needs wood. His farms need wood.
Mm-hmm.
Go north. Maybe he has wood.
Well, look at his chat. He's telling his buddy he doesn't have resources to build. That is nothing you want to be telling your he's not doesn't even have a teammate. But that's not a problem you want to be having. If you're doing a proper boom, you're not lacking any resource because you've allocated your villagers properly. Oh yeah, that was where you killed my scout.
So he's chopping wood outside of his base too.
Yep.
That's the other thing.
Bob, your walking is getting picked up on the mic, good dog.
It's so weird. Right where your cursor is right now, he has a whole empty area he easily could have been chopping wood with over there instead of going outside of his base. I'm not exactly sure why he's chopping wood outside of his base.
And I tell you what, this area here is not an area I would ever chop wood because you're risking opening this up. I would never chop wood here.
Oh, that's actually, yeah.
No.
No, you're right. That's a horrible spot.
Like this
That's
is.
what I'm saying. I don't understand why he chose there instead of back where that cursor was. And then on the west side, where his castle is, he's chopping wood outside of his base there too. And I'm like, why are you chopping outside of your base?
Now,
weird spot for the AI to choose.
Now this pocket here, I could see chopping wood here and moving this tree line back so you have more room for your farms. I would think that's a reasonable.
Alright, so now he's making a second castle out in front of his base.
Yep.
Or is that you forward castling on him?
Nope, that's his second castle, and he's got a forward barracks as well. He's got 2 barracks outside, and then he's got 1 inside. Is this one? Looks like he's making a stable here. And actually, that's something that Hera showed in his TC boom, is that he did at least 3 of his stables inside of his arena and not outside of his walls. I don't do any of them inside. But Hera's also 3,000 ELO. I'm not. So, okay, we're getting pretty close to being caught up with our last video as far as my build order is concerned. I'm going to keep it on 8x because there's just no reason to keep it on normal speed at this point.
Yeah, we have to go back to you making the 9 stables or whatever in front of your wall. Because as of right now, there's no stables.
There we go. I'm at 110 villagers. I've got 1 idle villager. That's at this point, if you have less than 1% idle, I'm not too worried about it. I've got at least 45 farms at this point, and even 20 villagers on wood. At this point, I like to have at least 10 on each mineral resource. There's a point in this game where I end up having 35, I think, on gold. Yep, here's my castle finishing up. That's going to kill all of their villagers, which he doesn't like, and that prompts him to attack.
So I'm wondering, can you turn Fog of War on? I want to see how much you can see of him.
This is what I'm seeing at this point. Oh wait, no, this is still his view. Darn it, I'm getting so annoyed with Capture Age not letting me swap between players. Right click to cycle mode. Shift right clear on player or units or buildings to change player. Here. There we go. Okay. Now we're on my view. This is what I see.
So you're not seeing anything. You have no idea how much he's building outside of his castle.
Nope. Not at all.
His base.
Yeah, I don't know that his military is 8 times larger than mine at this point. Now, granted, he's going to war up here right now. And that bought me a lot of time. Him going to war with Almos was fantastic. I have no idea that he's got a town center here.
Yeah.
I will soon. My military is up to 24 compared to my opponent's 65. He is losing troops rapidly in his northern battle that neither of us are aware of. This 110 villager is, I believe, what I peak at. I should have peaked at 120, but 110 isn't bad. Here we go. That is, I've dropped a castle here within view of his town center. I didn't realize, I still don't know there's a town center here. Now I just found out there's a town center there. Which, had I known that that town center was there, I probably would have built my castle one or two square, well, two more squares to the left, northwest rather, so that I'm out of range of his town center, but his town center is within range of my castle.
Right.
Information is key. I should have scouted this area better before dropping the castle.
Yeah, but at that point you didn't know. You're basing that off of what you can kind of see, and everything's happening in real time. It is hard to know.
So at this point, I've definitely taken control of this gold mine. This castle is just killing his mining camp. That's going to be gone in short order. I'm shortly, what I believe is going to happen is these guys are going to end up going after these villagers because I don't realize what he's got built up around here yet. Like, I don't know that, realize he's got this. I know that, well, I'm not conscious of the firing area of his castle. That's what I'm trying to say. So I do lose some villagers to this castle, or some military to this castle.
Yeah.
There we go. Took out his town center. Now I own this arc. And my whole back and forth with this guy until an hour and 10 minutes is protecting and maintaining this arc. We are Russia and Ukraine until an hour and 10. Now where I screwed up here is my rams. I should not have sent them to the archery range. I should have had them tear down these two wall pieces. That would have been a more effective use of those rams.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what units they even have. Like they're not even using archers. Like, what are they?
He's using the Magyar Hussars, cavalry archers, paladins, and he's got one monk.
No, he's using his Rathas. There's a fuck ton of Rathas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at almost. Sorry, yeah. He's got halberdiers, Rathas, skirmishers, light cavalry, and a Tarkin.
Oh, he had converted one of your Tarkins. That's why.
Now you'll see I'm able to. I've got 80 units queued on 10 stables. This is why I do so many fucking stables.
Oh shit! I didn't realize you had 90, almost 100 people.
Yeah. This is the beauty of an econ boom. Is at this point I've got a surplus of probably 10,000 food, so I can rebuild my defensive forces, and I just keep pushing them back like that until at around a minute 10 I realize, oh shit, I didn't finish my blacksmith resources and I could be more effective. So, not my blacksmith resources, but my blacksmith research.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they're both building tribes at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy's building a siege elephant, so he's probably going to try to do something with that. Yeah, your guys, you're just making a ton of... Is it the targets you're making in the stables, or no?
At this point, I'm making a mix of Tarkins and light cavalry because there's still gold on the map. Later on, we run out of gold on the map, and I'm not able to make Tarkins unless I'm selling at the market. So my Tarkin production significantly drops after about an hour and 20 minutes into the game. But right now, I'm just doing Tarkins as much as I have gold and then supplementing with light cavalry. Because light cavalry has no gold cost. It's just 80 food flat out. Boom. Bodies at this point are what I need. I've got 70 military compared to his 83. And look how fast that's going up. I'm catching up in a heartbeat. I am the dominant military, but we're still breaking even. Like, I'm holding the line, but I'm not gaining ground. And that's where things change for me at a minute 10 is once I finish those 3 extra researches at the blacksmith, that's when I gain ground on him. In a little bit, you're going to see my 4th castle over here. it's going to get taken down, and I'm going to be rebuilding that. And the second attempt stays. I'm going to build a 5th castle over here after I take out his castle. So he's it's just a back and forth. Not even a back and forth. It's just a stalemate for the next 20 minutes of game time of me trying to get traction, him fighting back when I lose enough guys. And that's the back and forth. But they're really, in terms of ground control, there's no back and forth. It's just a sheer stalemate.
Yeah, we were going on both fronts, it seems like, back and forth quite a bit.
No. Now, this is where Hera is 100% right, that score doesn't mean shit. Now, at the beginning, it's a really good indicator of your opponent's economy. But when you get into the late game, him having a 16,000 score compared to my 10,000 doesn't mean anything.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that was even the score at that point. Yeah.
He's got 50
points based on how many you build too, and that really doesn't touch me.
No.
Like that guy's building a ton, like almost building a ton of like bad guys against me. I'm still killing all those bad guys. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and like all this is going on, he thinks he's gonna come in, and he doesn't realize that I've got this contingency of 40 guys over here that's gonna come and he even tries to almost tries to forward town center on me here, but my castle makes short work of it. Fucking almost.
Yeah, this guy seems to be all over the place because he's sending his siege elephant to that guard tower. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you fucked up the guard tower. Now he's going to your other guard tower. So he's really trying to control your defenses.
Well, he's trying to lame my resources.
Yeah, and I can't tell. Are those? Is that almost those bad guys that are over there? Who's over there with those bad guys? The 2 stars. Those aren't yours.
You got to be more specific with there.
It was a fuck ton of them. It was all right there.
Are you talking about these guys here?
No, the ones south of that. The ones that are like in between the elephants and the castle.
Between
the winged hussars. The winged hussars.
So he's got elite skirmishers, halberdiers, arbalesters, rathas, and light calves.
Oh, those are yours, actually. I wonder if those are your Tarkans or something.
I've got Tarkans, hussars, and at this point in the game, trebuchets. Those are the only 3 units I'm making at this point.
So you upgraded your light cavalry at that point to the hussars.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what. So I was like, where did those all come from? Because you were making light cavalry a second ago. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So here we are. Like, I wouldn't say I've established dominance at this point, but I'm not scared that he's going to gain an inch because my military is strong enough. It's not a minute 10 yet, so I still haven't realized that I'm missing the blacksmith upgrades. It'll be a moment before these bonuses go up more. I would think an 8x speed. Capture age is just lagging like crazy. This clock should be going a lot faster than it is. If anybody working at Capture Age sees this screen, please unfuck your software. Thank you. I'm literally paying for this now. There we go. So he's still trying to lame my gold over here. I was focused on these guys. They're coming over to take out my watchtowers. I'm kind of like just doing a weak trush, you know?
Right.
It's like a half-ass trush. Well, because I'm really distracted by the foot war. I really should have done more to protect that. So these guys here, I should have sent over here to kill his villagers. There's a lot of inefficient war fighting I'm doing right here. It could be because I'm trying to manage my new villagers. I'm up to 116 villagers now.
Yeah. It's an all-out war on that front too, though, man. That's nuts.
Yeah, I'm starting to gain ground, and I'm moving the fight closer and closer to his wall at this point, but it's not dominance yet.
Yeah, you know, the thing I don't like about this game that I feel like is a little unbalanced, I know they balanced it as much as they could with the new patch and all that, but I just don't like how if you're not a cavalry civ or don't have cavalry, that you just don't have a trash unit that's just food.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they should have made like at least one unit in every military building, like something that doesn't need wood or gold.
Yeah.
And the stable's the only one that has that. And I think that's kind of unbalanced, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have at least like a pikeman or something that didn't require wood, or like, I mean, the spearmen, the skirmishers and stuff, or the skirmishers and stuff. Like, I understand why those would cost wood because you're literally throwing the spear.
Right.
But the ones you're not throwing anything is like that shouldn't cost wood. That should just be like, I mean, how can you say that costs wood, but then a fucking scout that has a metal sword doesn't cost wood? You know, that's just kind of dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I just say.
Even the militia, they cost food and gold. Like, why do they cost gold? You know, it's just dumb.
Yeah. It is interesting how he has his layout. I mean, he does, you know, he's not a Hun, so he's got to have more houses. So he's really tight with his building. He could have done a lot of that exterior and gained control of more ground.
Yeah, but I think he did it because he wanted to protect those farms.
Yeah.
It's just so much harder to get through when there's that many friggin' buildings like that. Like, he did everything else right. The stables, the barracks, and the archery range, and the castle's right there at the gate. I mean, it's hard, you know, as far as AI goes, you can't do much more than that.
So we're getting close to when I'm gonna. It's when my research at 110 finishes, around 115, you're gonna see me starting to establish dominance. But I mean, like, I have no shortage of resources at all because of the boom, and like I said, even though it wasn't efficient, it was effective. I think, given our elo levels, if survivalists had seen this, if Hera had seen this, they'd been like, "Wow, you're playing above your elo," is what I think they'd say. I could be wrong. Maybe Hera will hop in chat and be like, "Yep, nope, you suck ass." I don't know. And I'd be like, "No, I don't suck ass. I eat ass." Daddy likes his salad bars. There we go. So we got 2 more castles queued at this point. One of them survives. One of them gets destroyed. I do end up having to rebuild it, but that's how you push forward. That's how you gain more ground. This game really solidified that view for me. That you gain ground with castles. You do not gain ground with men.
Right. I mean, you could have done town center ones too, but yeah, I mean, the castles really make a huge difference. Because their range and line of sight is so much bigger. It looks like their line of sight is plus 11, it looks like, from what I'm seeing. Or maybe 615.
I got with researches. I've got 15 line of sight.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean that line of sight is huge.
Oh, sorry, that's Pierce. Armor range is 11. Line of sight might be further, but their range is 11. So let's see. Let's put the fog of war.